Welcome, friends. Welcome to our live stream.
அதான் யாரும் இல்லை இல்லை.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to our live stream. Welcome. Welcome, Natas ma'am. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to our live stream, friends. Good evening. Welcome, my simple C. Welcome to my live stream. Good evening, my simple C. Thank you so much for your support, my simple C and Natas ma'am. Thank you so much. Welcome, ma'am Maria. Welcome to my live stream. Good evening, ma'am Maria. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you so much for your support, friends. Good evening, ma'am Maria. Good evening. Thank you so much, ma'am Maria. Today, Jashwin is going to tell some short story to you all. He will start the story.
Okay.
Good evening, friends. Welcome to my live stream. Jashwin is telling some short story to you all.
Yesterday I had gone to the Madurai Book Expo in Tamukam last night around 7, and I found a lot of interesting stories. There were over 280 book stalls, and every single one of them had interesting story books. I'll tell the one that piqued my interest the most. The book's name is Alex Rider, and the first book is called Storm Rider. The author of the story is Anthony Horowitz, who's a British author. The story is about a 14-year-old boy called Alex Rider who's recruited by the British Secret Service MI6 to do their job for them. The story begins as as the scene portrays Alex in his room at around 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. He knows the faces and he knows the faces of his caretaker and the police. He can guess that someone has died. And here it seems that his uncle had died. The next day, when the police, his caretaker, and Alex John the funeral, it the a person named Alan Blunt climbs out from the car. It seems that Alan Blunt was the CEO of the bank his uncle was working in. But however, Alex sees through this deception, and while climbing, he sees a gun hidden in Alan Blunt's jacket. The next day, he is called by Alan Blunt to his uncle's office or bank to get his will and inheritance. He is welcomed by a person called John. John and Alex Ryder go to their bank, but it seems that his uncle's office was locked. He is eventually taken to Alan Blunt's office, which is directly above his uncle's. Alan Blunt speaks to him for a few minutes and then goes out, leaving Alex alone in the room. Eventually, Alex gets too curious and decides to do a dangerous stunt no one who is sane would ever try. He jumps from the office of Alan Blunt down the floor to his uncle's. He almost dies in the process because Alan Blunt's office is located in the 18th or 17th floor and he jumps down one floor. If he misses it by mistake, he has to fall down a long way. He gets down, he looks at, so eventually he gets to the window ridge, he gets inside his uncle's office. He sees several files out, but the most important one seemed a file named Stormbreaker. So eventually this happens while Alex was just about to open the file named Stormbreaker. The door which Alex thought was originally locked from the inside was opened up and Alan Blunt and John enter. Alan Alan Blunt seems human. Alan Blunt is actually not suppressed by this as he tells John that he expected Alex to be here. Alex is really confused as no one in their right mind would usually expect a 14-year-old to jump down a floor from a skyscraper. This happens and Alan Blunt is taken to his room. When Alan Blunt takes Alex to his room, later, as Alan Blunt was going through his files, he starts talking to Alex after making sure the windows and the door are closed. He tells Alex that his uncle died in a car accident because of not wearing a seat belt. Alex Ryder is surprised by this as he knows that his uncle is a very paranoid person and checks his seatbelt every time before going into the car. So he goes to the car shed. In the car crash, his uncle died. When he checks his uncle's car, it seems the problem was not a seatbelt. Actually, it seems that his uncle was shot at. There was blood sprayed all over the car, and there were bullet holes in the car. He goes back to Alan Blunt and repeats his statement that his uncle was killed by a gunshot. Alan Blunt chuckles and he calls another younger woman to his room. Her name was Dr. Jones. They both close the door and they start telling him things. It seems that the By the way, if any of you suspect, I'm not looking at a book and reading. So, by the way, Alan Blunt explains to Alex that this bank his uncle used to work for, the name being Royal Blue Bank, was actually a cover for MI6 headquarters. If you didn't know, MI6 is the British secret service. Secret Intelligence Service. So it seems that Alan Blunt was the chief of MI6 and Dr. Jones was the deputy chief of MI6. Then they explain Alex's need for being there. So they tell him that his uncle was killed by an assassin named Yasin Gregorovich. Yasin Gregorovich. Yasin Gregorovich was working for a very dangerous person, and then that person must be stopped at any cost. His name was Heroid Sale. He was known to be a rich businessman and a very wealthy person. He was later that time at the next week or just few days, he was going to donate a few thousand very advanced computers named stormbreakers to the prime minister. This prime minister would then distribute it evenly among the British schools, but it seems that there is some evil behind this computer. There was a spy of Heroid Sale who tried to report it, but he was also killed by Yasin Gregorovich. And now, and that spy was actually Alex's uncle. Now, the MI6 British Secret Service want Alex to infiltrate a Heroid Sale's place and relay them information. They were going to supply him with a new identity, the identity being of being of another 14-year-old boy who had won an online game. This online game was designed to choose the teenager that would first like. So for the newcomers who joined late, I'm telling about the story of Alex Rider, the first book name being Stormbreaker, written by Anthony Horowitz. So telling Alex Rider, as I was telling about Alex Rider, this competition was choose to pick a teenager who would check check all the qualities of Stormbreaker first before the official release inside Herod Sale's mansion. Another teenager had actually won this competition, but the MI6 will be paying that teenager and his family several $1,000s, and they would be giving them a free vacation. Alex Rider would then take this teenager's place to infiltrate his mansion and relay them information about the evil Heroid Sale. So as this happens, the British preparing Alex. They take him into SAS training. They take a teenager into SAS training, which is very difficult for him. At first, he is bullied by every other person, but he manages to prove himself after around 1 week of training. He doesn't know. He was supposed to go parachuting training, but the British pulled him out right at that moment and told him this is the moment you need to infiltrate Herod Sale's mansion. He takes his new identity. And then he goes in a luxury cart, Sale's Heroid Sale's mansion inside. He manages to infiltrate it. However, eventually he manages to catch. Heroid Sale greets him personally. He tells him to go directly to his room, and if he wanted to go anywhere else, don't go without asking for permission. Don't go without asking or without permission. In his room is a few essential items with the Stormbreaker computer. He tests for the first couple of hours. He tests this very advanced computer. Though Alex mostly plays games, though Alex mostly plays games. He eventually tries to slip out without anyone noticing, but he gets caught. But he makes an excuse saying he was going to the washroom. He goes outside and then into a library. He asked the librarian if he saw his uncle. His the librarian replied no. However, Alex finds a link in the book to his uncle. When he looks at the book, it seems it's an old tunnel or mining tunnel exact that was abandoned a few decades ago, but it's directly under Herod Sale's mansion. And so with this help, he manages to infiltrate Herod Sale's mansion from underground, even though Alex had to face many perilous events. Eventually, he manages to do this. He swims underwater in this abandoned mine into Herod Sale's like not allowed places, which was not for public seeing. Inside this place, it seemed there were several scientists and doctors experimenting. Alex slips in, but eventually he gets caught. It seems that the person who caught him was actually Herod Sale's personal bodyguard and personal assistant. Actually, not personal assistant. Only his bodyguard catches him, and the bodyguard finds out the truth that he is Alex Rider, not the not the teenager chosen for the topic, and they actually guess MI6 recruited him, which they think is funny because a 14-year-old boy is working in a secret service. They even he gets him inside, and for punishment they throw Alex into a giant pool containing a giant jellyfish, and then the bodyguard goes to the other side, and then Herod Sale looks at Alex Rider and just goes. So the bodyguard tells him from the other side of the pool that Alex, no matter how hard he tries, will never be able to escape, and in a few hours he'll become too tired to swim, and then he'll drown or be poisoned because of the giant jellyfish. But Alex Rider has a way of escaping. The British had provided Alex with a sunscreen, but it was not actually a sunscreen. Inside it was a cream that would work for humans, but if it came into any contact with metal, it would corrode the metal instantly. Hence, Alex Rider put that cream on some of the metal surrounding the pool, and the pool broke away. All the water gushed out, and the jellyfish landed straight on the bodyguard, and then the bodyguard died. And then Alex Rider works about escaping, but eventually he's caught by Yasin Gregorovich, and then he finds out their plans, and it seems that there's no escape. He finds out from Yasin the the stormbreaker computers contains several thousand bacteria. It seems it was the ancient smallpox or a very deadly disease that was stored inside of the computer. And when the prime minister presses the button to activate these computers, the virus or bacteria will be released to infect all the children in front of it, so that all of them will die. Because Herod Sale does this because of his ancient rivalry with the prime minister. It seemed that in school, Herod Sale and the prime minister were classmates, and he was bullied by the prime minister in this story. So he does this for revenge. So now we are coming to the climax. The story is about to end. But alright. So Herod Sale does this for revenge on the British and the British Prime Minister. But he doesn't see that even though he does this for revenge, thousands of innocent children will die. He does not care about that. He's very evil and he must be stopped at any costs. So Alex Rider manages to escape from the binds. It seems that the Prime Minister will press the button at 10 o'clock and the smallpox or deadly virus will be released and thousands of children will die. So Alex Rider takes a private jet. Actually, yes, he jumps into a jet that is going. He he then does the daring act, even though he never had any parachuting training. He jumps down to the ceremony place where the function or function is taking place. He parachutes to he parachutes to the place where the prime minister is just about to press the button, and when the prime minister's hand is inches from the button, Alex Rider shoots the prime minister's hand to make him stop from pressing the button. He then shoots Heroid Sale, but however, even after being shot, Heroid Sale manages to escape. The British Secret Service instantly censors all of this activity to make sure Alex Rider's identity wouldn't be revealed, and they warn every reporter or journalist present there that this information must be kept secret at any cost, or this is a national security event. So, so this happens while Alex is then debriefed of his mission in the Royal Blue Bank. He then gets caught by Heroid Sale, who is hiding and like covering his face with a hoodie. He's taken hostage by Heroid Sale with a gun. He's taken to a tall building, and in the top of the building, he threatens to shoot Heroid Sale. I mean, Heroid Sale threatens to shoot Alex, but just before Alex gets shot, he's shot in the back by Yasen Gregorovich in a helicopter. It seemed that it seemed that his it seemed that whoever whoever was above the line in Yasin Gregorovich, the organization he was actually working for, which in the future is revealed to be named Scorpia, ordered him to kill Herod Sale because Herod Sale was an embarrassment to the organization because of his failure. And so when Alex asked about him, Yasin said there was no need for Yasin to kill Alex, and he usually didn't kill children, and he also wasn't ordered to, so there was no need. And then Alex is left to his own devices. He then returns home, and then he thinks about all these events with his housekeeper making him food, and the story ends here. Thank you.
தேங்க்யூ கப்ஸஸ், வெல்கம் டு மை லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம். எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா? இந்த ஸ்டோரி வந்து இவன் நேற்று வந்து புக் எக்ஸ்போவில் வந்து புக் வாங்கினான். அதை வந்து ஃபுல்லாக வந்து ஆல்மோஸ்ட் முடிச்சிருக்கிறான், முக்கால்வாசி வந்து முடிச்சிட்டான். ஸ்டோரிஸ் வந்து ரீட் பண்ணிட்டான் ஆல்மோஸ்ட்டு. நேற்று தான் வந்து ஒரு பெரிய புக்காக வாங்கிட்டு வந்தான், அதை முடிச்சிட்டான். அவன் வந்து ஸ்டோரிஸ் எல்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டோரிஸ்லாம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் நல்லா படிப்பான். அதனால் இவன் வந்து ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடு, அதனால் புக்ஸ் எல்லாம் படித்து முடிச்சுட்டான் நேற்று. இன்னும் பிளான் நிறையா இருக்குது மதுரை புக் எக்ஸ்போவில் வாங்குறதுக்கு அவனுக்கு. தேங்க்யூ அபே இன் த ஹவுஸ். Yesterday we buy some books in Madurai Book Expo. That some. தேங்க்யூ கப்ஸஸ். ஆமாம், அவன் நல்லா ரீட் பண்ணுவான், நம்மளால விட தூக்கி எல்லாத்தையும் சாப்பிட்ருவான். நல்லா ரீட் பண்ணுவான். அவன் ஸ்டோரிஸ் வந்து முடிச்சிட்டான். ஃபஸ்ட்டு தேர் இஸ் எ கிளாரிட்டி அண்ட் ஸ்பீச் வெல் டன் கிட். ஆமாம், அதெல்லாம் நல்லா ஸ்டோரிஸ் மட்டும் செமையாக ரீட் பண்ணிடுவான். அது புக் ஸ்டோரிஸ்ன்றதுனால வந்து இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் எடுத்து அது வந்து தேடி கண்டுபிடிச்சான். வெல்கம் குசினா, வெல்கம் டு மை லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம். அதான் நேற்று நேற்று தான் வாங்கிட்டு வந்தான். அடுத்தடுத்த புக்ஸும் இருக்குது, முடிச்சிருவான். தேங்க்யூ மரியா மேம், வெல்கம் டு மை லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம். அது ஸ்டோரி முடிச்சிட்டான், அது வந்து படித்து முடிச்சிட்டான். நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டோரி ஐ திங்க் ரெடி பண்ணிடுவான்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். அவன் படித்து முடிச்சிருவான். ஹவ் ஆர் யூ மேம்? யாஸ் வி ஆர் குட் மேம் மரியா, வி ஆர் குட். சென்ட் ஹிம் டு மோர் காம்படிஷன் அண்ட் மோட்டிவேட் ஹிம். அது நிறைய காம்படிஷன் அவன் அட்டன் பண்ண தான் செய்கிறான். அதெல்லாம் கரெக்டாக இருப்பான். இந்த விஷயத்துலலாம் புக்ஸ் ரீட் பண்ணுறதுலேருந்து காம்படிஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து கரெக்டாக இருப்பான். வெல்கம் குசினா. ஒலிம்பியாட் வேற எழுத போகிறாரு சார். வெல்கம் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், வெல்கம் டு மை லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம். Okay, bye friends. See you soon. Sis, now moving. Thank you, Kapsis. Thank you so much for supporting my live stream. Thank you, friends. Thanks for coming to my live stream. And I'm going to end my live. Bye. See you soon. Bye.